This video is going to show you how to use a sticky note to help measure and figure out what kind of angle you have. Now, in 4th grade we deal with 3 main kinds of angles. We have acute angles, we have right angles, and we have obtuse angles. Acute angles are any angle that is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is any angle that is more than 90 degrees. Now the right angle is very, very picky. The right angle has to be exactly 90 degrees. So right angles don't like being 91 degrees, they don't like being 89 degrees, they like being 90, exactly 90 degrees. Now, the one good thing about right angles is a shape like a square, like a sticky note, has 4 right angles. That's why we can use a sticky note to help us figure out what kind of angle we have. See, when I use my sticky note and I use it to check my angle, if the angle is too small, and my sticky note will not fit in the angle, that means it's an acute angle because it's less than 90 degrees. There is not enough room for my sticky note to fit. If I try to fit my sticky note into the angle and the angle is too big, maybe I see extra room or some space and it doesn't fit my sticky note quite right, that means that it's an obtuse angle. If I try to fit my sticky note into my angle and it fits perfectly, that means that it's a right angle. So that's how we use the sticky note to see what kind of angle it is. If my sticky note goes into the angle and the angle is too small, it's an acute angle. If my sticky note fits perfectly in the angle, it's a right angle. If the angle is too big for my sticky note, it's an obtuse angle. I'm going to show you what I mean. So the first thing is, if you're going to use a sticky note for this, you need to make sure that the sticky note that you're using isn't crumpled up, isn't ripped, isn't torn, isn't folded or bent. You want it to be as nice of a sticky note as you can find. So if I'm just getting one out of my backpack and it kind of looks like this, I don't want to try to unfold it and smooth it out, because if any of my corners are messed up, I can't use that. I want a nice square sticky note. Now you could also use a piece of paper, because the corner of the piece of paper has the same kind of corner as the sticky note. The only kinds of papers that you can't use are any papers that have a round corner. So if the corner isn't pointy, like this sticky note here, I don't want to use it. If it's got a round corner, I don't want to use it for this. So I'm going to zoom in here, get a little closer, and show you what I mean. I'm going to take my sticky note and I'm going to try to put the corner of my sticky note as far into the angle as I can get it. Then I'm going to twist my sticky note until I can get one side of the angle lined up to it. So just like that. So I can see one side of my angle. I can see one of my lines. But the other side, if I look really closely, I can see it through my sticky note. It's covered up. If one of my lines is covered up by my sticky note, that's my way of knowing that that angle is too small for the sticky note. There's not enough space for it. So if the angle is too small for my sticky note, that makes it an acute angle. And to show that on my paper, what I can actually do is inside the angle, I can put a little letter A, or I can put a capital A. Capital A's usually work a little bit better than the lowercase a. Now this kind of angle, I'm going to do the same thing. Take the corner of my sticky note, I'm going to put it into the corner of my angle, and look what happens. When I put my sticky note there, my sticky note fits perfectly. I can see both of my lines, they're right next to the sticky note. Nothing's sticking out, nothing's covered up. That means that this kind of angle is a right angle. Now, on my paper, to show my work, I could put a letter R there. But a lot of times on our math paper, they will kind of give us a clue that this is a right angle, and they'll put a little square in the corner there. So if you see a little square in the corner of your angle, they're kind of telling you, or they're giving you a hint that if you use a sticky note, it would fit perfectly. This angle, I'm going to do the same thing. Take the corner of my sticky note. I'm going to put it into the corner of my angle, and I want to twist it so that one side is sitting against the sticky note. And this time I can see that this side is right next to my sticky note, but on this side I've got all this room, all this empty space. So this angle was too big for my sticky note. If the angle's too big, that means that it is an obtuse angle. And to show that on my paper, I'm going to put a letter O to show that it's obtuse. Now, another way that you can help remind yourself what the names for these kinds of angles is for the acute. Remember, when I try to use my sticky note, that one side gets covered up. Something that I think about is when you see a baby, they're always covered up. They're always in blankets or sweaters or things like that so they don't get cold. And whenever someone sees a baby, they always go, "Oh, what a cute little baby." So if part of your angle is covered up, like a baby, what kind of baby is it? It's a cute little baby. Now, to help me remember the right angles, I think about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. When Goldilocks goes into the Three Bears' house, she tries all their chairs, she tries all their beds, their food, everything, and she's very picky. She says, "Oh, this one's too hot, this one's too cold, or this one's too soft, and this one's too hard. This one is too tall, and this one's too short." But when she finds the one that she likes, she says it's just right. So just like with my sticky note, when I put my sticky note into this kind of angle, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. And to help me remember the obtuse angles, I think of the very first letter of obtuse, O. When I check an obtuse angle with my sticky note, and I see all of the empty space between my sticky note and the other line of my angle, it kind of looks like an open door, like if someone opened up the door and they just left it sitting open. So open and obtuse both start with O, so I can use that to help me remember. The other thing I want to make sure that I'm doing is anytime I'm measuring an angle using my sticky note, is I never want to put the sticky note on the outside of the angle. My sticky note should always be right inside. So I never want to measure the outside of an angle, I always want to measure the inside. Here I can see that one of my lines, I can see it, the other one's covered up. It's covered up like a cute little baby. So this is an acute angle. Again, I never want to put my sticky note on the outside of the angle. I always want to go on the inside. I can see both of my lines this time. Nothing's covered up, but I've got all this open space. It looks like an open door. If it looks like an open door, then it's an obtuse angle. So if I have a sticky note, or if I have a piece of paper, I can use the corner to check any kind of angle and see if it's an acute angle, if it's a right angle, or it's an obtuse angle. And remember, if it's an acute angle, it'll be too small. My sticky note won't fit. Part of it's going to be covered up like a cute little baby. If it fits perfectly with my sticky note, that means it fits just right, like Goldilocks. That means it's a right angle. If the angle is too big for my sticky note and it's got this big open space, it's open, like the letter O, like obtuse.